Previously on Five Corners, we have discussed education in the news, in particular the Gonski Report, curriculum, more specifically the Australian Curriculum Shape document, and globalising education. This week, our focus is on the outsourcing phenomenon of HPE in Australian schools. Over to you, Chrissy.
I'd like to introduce June McDonald, renowned author of Like a Fish in Water. Her expertise on the subject of neoliberalism will be invaluable to our discussion. Thanks, Chrissy. Quite briefly, neoliberalism is an approach to governing society that positions people as entrepreneurs, with responsibility for choice in education, work and lifestyle. A neoliberal school aims to privatise school services, to put schools in the competitive marketplace. Education is a major factor in world economy due to its impact on national economic competitiveness, as schools provide foundations for labour skills as traded goods. Additionally, there is the commodification of pedagogy associated with the notion of outsourcing.
The notion of outsourcing has featured when discussing the future of physical education. Ben Williams, provide some insight into what outsourcing is and why teachers, parents and outsourcing advocates should make themselves aware of its implications.
According to Mole, outsourcing can be defined as a state or process of procuring goods and services from external suppliers. Outsourcing can be quite complex depending on the range of products and services and control and relationships between outsourcer and supplier. HSPE work is outsourced in many ways, including sporting organisations and health agencies. This affects HSPE as outsourcing provides students with greater opportunities and variety, as per the aims detailed in the SHAPE document. Consequently, pleasing parents who invest in their child's education, which furthermore supports the sustainability of outsourcing agencies and advocates.
Thanks, Ben. An implication is that future classes may be led by sport volunteers rather than education professionals, devaluing and eliminating the need for HPE teachers. However, do the obvious positives outweigh the negatives? Ben also outlined the potential that outsourcing provides access to expertise and physical resources, which is clearly positive.
Not to mention that outsourcing can facilitate teacher professional development, as well as provide accreditation for vocational education.
I can see how outsourcing would be beneficial for these purposes, but I'm not sure if I'm convinced yet.
Today we will critically analyse and discuss why outsourcing is a beneficial tool for ensuring young people are able to promote their own and others' health, well-being, safety and participation in physical activity across their lifespan. Earlier this week I met with HPE teachers in the field, Tracy Cox from Outbush State School and Stuart Ziddell from Bright Lights Christian College. Brown and Green highlight that students in rural settings are typically disadvantaged for a number of reasons when compared to their urban counterparts. Tracy, have you found this to be the case?
Anna, it's an excuse to say students in rural settings are disadvantaged, especially in terms of lack of physical resources and expertise. Through my experience, outsourcing can be a powerful and beneficial tool, especially because of geographical location. For instance, I can have an expert Auskick AFL representative at our school free of charge, or furthermore, organise a low-cost Auskick program for the community.
That is a clear positive of outsourcing, Tracy, particularly in your isolated area. This also supports the notion of enabling students as confident and competent participation in a range of physical activities identified in the SHAPE document. Now Stuart, how has outsourcing been positively incorporated into your HPE program?
Well, Anna, you may think that as a private school in Brisbane we have all the facilities a school could require. This is not the case. Outdoor education, for instance, has long been a site for preparing learners to be active for a lifetime. Curriculum that incorporates education, preparing learners for lifelong activity, is furthermore akin to the SHAPE document.
Stuart, Williams and colleagues state that the preparation work teachers contribute for outdoor education has been eliminated from their accountabilities and outsourced.
I disagree. I'm a strong advocate for outsourcing of outdoor education facilities absent at school. I accommodate the needs of my students and have observed countless positive learning experiences through outsourcing. I'm actively involved in planning with the outsourcing agents to ensure the desired learning outcomes are achieved. If left up to the outsourcing agents, it could lead to less accountability in teachers. In turn, the maximal benefits may not be achieved. Outsourcing is valuable to support the learning objectives more effectively than what would otherwise have been possible, provided it does not devalue the teacher.
Thanks for that insight, Stuart. It's clear that if used effectively and in moderation, outsourcing can be extremely beneficial for HPE teachers and the learning outcomes for students.
As teachers must partake in extensive professional development, outsourcing is an avenue to achieve this. I met with Blue Earth Ambassador Greg Chappell to discuss. Literature shows the less qualified teachers perceive themselves to be, the less likely they are to implement a successful program. To overcome this issue of efficacy, outside professional development programs have been used. Greg, tell me what Blue Earth can do for teachers.
Blue Earth's professional learning program was developed to provide practicing teachers with guidance from a Blue Earth coach. The program is high teacher input with a large amount of responsibility for delivery to students. Coaches provide ongoing support for teachers as our aim is to see improvements in student engagement, well-being and teacher professional development.
Well, your 2-year program supports the notion that PD needs to be long-term and teacher, school, student and context-specific.
Yes, we were able to offer on-site context-specific programs, which has been documented as playing an important role in effective PD.
Thanks, Greg. I can see how outsourcing PD to Blue Earth and professional associations such as ACHPA would be positive for teachers.
I'm more convinced now, especially after my interview with Tom Brown. Tom, your department advocates for the implementation of VET programs because they develop concepts relevant to various work environments. Correlating with the SHAPE document, students are equipped with knowledge and skills to assist engagement in varied and changing contexts. Tom, becoming an RTO is an extensive process. Is that the only avenue available? It can be costly to have registration, but fortunately a school does not need to be an RTO to offer VET programs. Schools are able to offer VET subjects that are overseen by an RTO throughout, before certification is obtained. Alternatively, students may go to the RTO, for instance, outsourcing outdoor education in conjunction with working towards certification. This again refers back to the SHAPE document, where outdoor education is noted as a setting for students to engage in practical and active learning experiences in an environment beyond the school boundary. In essence, advocating a need for outsourcing. Thanks, Tom.
That's about all we have time for today. Nathan, you've mentioned how outsourcing can be a dangerous tool if not exercised with caution. But can you see how beneficial it is when utilised appropriately?
I've certainly been convinced that outsourcing is an outstanding tool for every teacher's toolbox, if used in moderation, with teachers remaining accountable for the teaching and learning that occurs. We've only mentioned a few benefits of outsourcing, all of which contribute effectively to the aims of the SHAPE document.
Thanks for tuning in. We hope you leave with a holistic insight into the acceptable use of outsourcing and see it as a teaching tool rather than a potential threat to the value of teachers. Tune in again next week for the controversial topic of performance-based pay for Australian teachers.